ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Roundtable. My name is Robert Bannon. You're watching us on Broadway World or listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network. I am excited. You know, when I was a kid, we went to see Forbidden Broadway above the Ellen Stardust Diner. And I was the Broadway nerd. You know, in my 6th grade yearbook, it said I wanted to be Fanny Brice when I grew up. As you can tell, very butch and straight of me. And I am so excited that Forbidden Broadway is modernized, redone, ready to make fun of your favorite Broadway shows. They do it like nobody else can do it. And we have 2 cast members who I think have been in this show. They've done thousands. They've been making you laugh for thousands and thousands of shows. Jenny and Chris, welcome.
Hi.
Thousands. You've been making us laugh for thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
Centuries
guys.
and centuries worth
It's
of
really been
performance.
centuries.
So congratulations. You're back.
Thank you.
How does
You're
it
back,
feel
baby.
to be back with a new
It feels
show?
amazing. It feels exhausting and
Yeah.
amazing. And we finally just opened, so the show is frozen.
That's right.
Which is awesome because Forbidden Broadway previews are definitely still like rehearsals and everything changed. I mean, during our 2 or 3 weeks of previews,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think so.
we didn't do the same show twice.
No.
So we'll come in at like 2:00. There'll be a new number or
Yeah.
new lyrics or a new verse or this is taken out or this is taken in or here's a cat hat and some fans.
Right.
Let's figure this out together.
Exactly. And they'll be like, well, if you don't want to do this tonight, and you're like, well, I want to do it tonight because for all I know, I'm going to come in tomorrow. We're not going to be doing it anymore. So let's give these people this number, maybe for a one-time experience.
Yeah.
What was opening, besides the fact that it's frozen and you don't have to worry about notes and new lyrics and new songs? How does it feel that the show was out and now you get the audience's reaction? What has the audience's reaction been like so far?
Oh my God, it's been fantastic. And one of the best things, honestly, about opening or doing a new edition of Forbidden Broadway is just like you get so much extra love on your opening because there's just like the score and parade of people that have been a part of this institution for the 40 plus years that it's been around, all show up and they just, they give you your literal and metaphorical flowers.
And the niche, like, as you know, you can come and see Forbidden Broadway, even if you don't really know, like, the
100%.
super inside jokes, and you can still appreciate. I mean, I had a mom and a dad from my daughter's school come this afternoon, and I don't know if they've ever seen a Broadway show ever, like maybe Lion King 20 years ago or something, and they were howling. They didn't even know what they were laughing at. So you can be like them, or you can be like
total insider,
total inside baseball, and you'll get like the most niche, the most Easter eggs, and that's fun too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I love, though, is that it really is for anybody, and you don't have to be. You could be a tourist who's coming in and doesn't know a thing, or you can be the only Broadway nista, and you can check it out. Forbidden Broadway, Merrily We Stole a Song, Theater 555. So there's not a bad seat in the house.
No, it was 117 seats, so you're basically VIP.
Yeah, seriously.
VIP, you are in the show no matter where you sit in the show.
Yes, you are, and we can see you, so pay attention.
Yeah, so eyes up.
Chris and Jenny, I have a question for you.
I'm
joked, but how long have you both been with Forbidden Broadway?
Let's see. Jenny and I met doing Forbidden Broadway Next Generation back in 2019. That was probably my first official Forbidden Broadway, but you've been doing it for a little longer.
Yeah, so my first one was like 11 years ago. Okay. So let's see. My middle daughter was about to turn 2, so that would have been like 2013 or something. Yeah. That was Alive and Kicking. So the one that I did it was the first time that Forbidden Broadway in like 30 years had gone on hiatus for like a 3-year period. There was no Forbidden Broadway. So when we came back, it was huge, like so much press, all this stuff. So I did that. And then I did Alive and Kicking. And then I did Spamilton.
Right.
And then I did Next Generation, and then Forbidden Sondheim.
Yes, we did a cabaret last year.
And now this. So.
And now this. So you have been with this show. Now my question is, when you get cast in the show, how much creative licensing do you have to play? Or is it very strict? And add your own nuances and jokes and like how does the rehearsal process work so that it's as funny and as entertaining as can be?
So Gerard definitely comes in with like a script, or at least like the bones of, if some numbers aren't, complete, like the bones of what it is.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of tailored to like what our strong suits are, right? Like, so we do have a lot of input. There is like a bit of the process that's like improvisational when you're trying to put up a number.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's not really like, okay, here we go. Here's the 5, 6, 7, 8, the choreography and the blocking and the this and the that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's definitely collaborative, but Gerard definitely at the helm. And then Fred Barton coming in. Fred Barton, the 10-fingered orchestra of New York.
Exactly.
And Jerry McIntyre. And it's
yeah.
sort of just like a beautifully orchestrated free-for-all.
Yeah.
Where we can all just kind of throw stuff in. And we actually had some cast changes early on in the process.
Yeah.
And so that even changed the show.
Yeah.
Based on like what the people who came in to replace people, what their strong suits were. So we kind of had to adapt like that. And but like, for instance, there was and this we've been working on for a year because this was in Forbidden Sondheim, but there's a line that I say as Patti LuPone before the song, and he had something written, and I was like, I had a conversation with Patti LuPone like 2 weeks prior. We ran into each other, and by ran into each other, I recognized her, ambushed her, and said, and I ran into her at 54 Below, and she was doing the 7 o'clock show, and I was doing the 9:30 show, and I walked out of my dressing room, and I was like, I thought it was my mom. That's the first thought I had because they look so much like. Anyways, long story short, I said, I'm Jenny Lee Stern. She said, I'm Patti LuPone.
You're like, thank you.
I know.
I had no idea.
And then I said, I want to tell you, like, I play you in Forbidden Broadway in several incarnations. And she said, Forbidden Broadway? They're still doing Forbidden Broadway? And so we put that into the show. So like, it would have been another line had I not actually had that encounter with her. So
it's totally a living and breathing
It is a living
thing.
And breathing thing. And then, things will happen. I mean, it all goes back to Patti. When we were doing Spamilton was when the whole who do you think you are thing happened. And so like we added that into the show. Or so it is definitely like an ever-changing.
Well, Patti LuPone is made for Forbidden Broadway. I mean, there's not anyone who is, I mean, you could just take some of the things she does and say, and you don't have to change it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think she holds the record for person that's been parodied most over the years.
I think that's actually a fact. So, but I do not think she's ever been to the show.
Has she actually never showed up?
I don't know. I
Patti,
feel like
now's your chance.
Patti LuPone, come on down. I mean, she's got a show she's doing now too. But
that's true.
Jenny and Chris, I have a couple of I'm fascinated by this whole extravaganza. So are you musical theater trained kids? Are you comedy trained kids? Are you improv trained kids? Like what are you just rolled out of a trunk and here you are?
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like we were like sent in an Amazon package to Gerard.
Fell out of a coconut tree together.
Exactly.
And then it split and here we are.
But I have like a BFA in musical theater. I'm conservatory trained, but it's not, it's just about your sensibility. Like I grew up listening to this stuff, people that I'm making fun of in this show are people that I've been making fun of just like in social situations or at parties. So I kind of feel like I did fall out of a coconut tree and it's just by a happy accident, something that I already love to do. And that happens to coincide with the training that I've received and the kind of shows that I love to do. It just kind of like happened like a happy little marriage of Figaro.
Yeah, sort of same. I mean, come from musical theater and dance background, always like on the side of comedy and stuff. But I wouldn't consider myself, or maybe it's just imposter syndrome, as like an impressionist. Like I never thought that was my thing until I got cast in Forbidden Broadway, Like I've played Patsy Cline all over the country a million times. And I sort of say like, oh, I'm not a singer. I just Patsy Cline's a singer, so I play Patsy. Like I'm an actor who does whatever the character is supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So I consider myself like an actor comedian who steps up to whatever that character does.
Yeah.
So right, so Patti LuPone is a singing actress, and so for 2 minutes I'm a singing actress, or so and so is a
Gwen Verdon, dancer first, and
is
all of
a
a sudden you're a
dancer first,
dancer.
and now I'm a dancer first, or now I'm doing a RuPaul drag.
Oh yeah, full drag.
We don't want to give too much away on that.
That's true.
But you may or may not see a mom of three really lip syncing for her life.
Yes, come on.
At the bottom of our stage,
I
right
mean, I'm like
off.
fully
Yeah,
injured.
we could show you all the bruises that we have. They have their own zip code at this point.
It's a thing.
Well, so you brought up her. Do you hear from people who are parodied ever? Do they ever come? Do they ever send you?
You never know. You never know. I mean, I remember when we were at the Triad during Next Generation, and that was my first time during Forbidden Broadway. I was not hip to the whole thing that you don't know who's going to show up. But we were doing a show, and I looked out into the audience at the dim little Triad, and I was like, that just, it really looks like Andrew Lloyd Webber, but there can't be a way that it actually is. And then the lights came up during the curtain call, and I was like, oh my God, it's Andrew Lloyd Webber. A night. There's a night on 72nd Street.
At the Triad.
At the Triad.
Above the Mediterranean restaurant.
Past the Mediterranean restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, or you're like, just, come on. The show opens, and this was also at the Triad. And there's Mary Testa in the front row. And all I'm thinking is, oh my God, in 45 minutes, I'm going to be Mary Testa in Oklahoma. And it's not.
Sometimes it's nice to get a heads up, because then you can kind of gird your loins.
Or prepare how to
know, instead of going out there and be like, oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to scale it back, but like sometimes, I don't know. But yeah, so people do come. Like, I mean, Carol Burnett came to a show.
Norman Lear
Stephen
was there.
Sondheim used to come all the time. Who else? Well, Joan Rivers, R.I.P. I mean,
Collins. It's just, this thing has been around for so long, and it's been like such a beloved thing. Which
it's a New York staple. It's a Broadway staple. It's a
and I think people, who are just like kind, nice, normal people. Like, I think it's a compliment, right? To be parodied in Forbidden Broadway.
Because it means that you're really somebody. And that you have a career and
a big enough career
and
that
a dynamic personality.
That we're taking note of like something that you've done. So,
well, I'm not giving it away because I have not seen it, but I can't wait to. But I do have a press release. I do have the synopsis. So I want to say that it parodies Hell's Kitchen and Stereophonic and The Outsiders and The Great Gatsby and Back to the Future and The Wiz and Merrily We Roll Along, plus selections from Forbidden Sondheim. And you can expect send-ups of Roger Bart, Patti LuPone, Daniel Radcliffe, Ariana DeBose, who also is made for parody, and Jeremy Jordan, and more. So you are going to see a lot of people that you know and that you love, and shows that you know and that you love, but done in a way that's joyfully, comedically homaged to them.
Yes, totally. Exactly. And it's all sort of like shoving with love. It's like, Forbidden Broadway is a love letter to Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
And I also do think Gerard's, softened as he, if you go back and listen to some of the earlier editions, I think they're like a little bit meaner.
You get a little more of a
but you do, look, we live in a different time. And so we do have to take into account like a certain amount of
sensitivity,
political correctness, even though parody is sort of exempt. We're still human beings, right? So, and I think that's a great challenge, because in some ways the parodies are like more intellectual and really niche, as opposed to just being like, oh, this person's fat. Or this person's old,
and it's morphed over time, just like Broadway has morphed over time. The art form has morphed over time, and the fact that Gerard is able to really roll with these punches and keep coming back with these additions again and again and again, even as things in some ways can get harder to parody with pop scores and things like that.
Rock scores,
it's really hard, but
scores.
He finds it. It's a magnificent thing to be a part of.
So, Chris, can you tell us, she says she's Patti LuPone. Can you tell us maybe a person or two that you get to be?
Yes, I would say probably the most recognizable people I'm doing Daniel Radcliffe and Merrily We Roll Along, and I'm taking a big fast vibrato stab at Ben Platt's residency at the Palace.
I hope there's a feather boa. And
there's a full Marabou.
We'll have to come to see, but I do believe there's a lyric that says "in pink Marabou."
In pink Marabou. Yeah, that's probably one of the harsher ones that we're doing, but those are probably my big two.
And Lorna came to the show last week.
That's true, Lorna left,
and she had something to say about that too. But
apparently,
that's not
because
my
of her
story
we
to
got
tell.
that number. That's true.
Well, just if you ever speak to Lorna Luft, she is not lacking opinions, and she will tell you.
I love it.
Words ain't minced.
So that gives me a lot of joy. And Jenny, is there? So Daniel Radcliffe and Ben Platt vibratoing it out, and then Jenny, do you? Besides Patti LuPone, do you want to give us a tease? Is there other?
So I do Patti. I do who I've done before in other auditions. I do Bernadette, who I've done before in other auditions.
And we've done them in auditions too.
Auditions. Here's a funny one. So we do a Hell's Kitchen number, and the story is not quite 100% true. The story they're telling in Hell's Kitchen. It's not like it's not a true biography. Yeah. So anyways, Alicia Keys, actual real life piano teacher. Her name is Margaret Pine. It's not what you see in the show. She lives in Manhattan Plaza, honey. She was here last night at the show, and I play her real piano teacher. So it's like somebody this happens sometimes in Forbidden Broadway. Like I'm playing a woman nobody knows. Right? I think there's one picture of her online. There was like really nothing to pull from. So I'm just kind of making up what I think. And then there she is in the audience with her granddaughter. And I was like, I hope I was like
doing you justice.
Something like you or something. But that's kind of wild because she's not a celebrity. So I'm just playing literally someone's grandmother who's a piano teacher living at Manhattan Plaza. So that's amazing. And yes, you might see a little cameo from me in a Cats number.
That's true.
You may or may not see a slight cameo from me in an Outsiders number.
That's true. Yeah, Jenny has a few.
I would say
she crosses the gender line a few times.
I would say that I definitely, let's just say, show range in this audition. And it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I know. There is one number where I gift Jenny my beard. You'll have to come see what that is. That means
I am excited. I literally when the word is out that the show was coming back and it's out and you can get your tickets, and please go get your tickets to Theater 555. It really took me back to being that theater kid my parents took me to see it when I was 12 or 13 years old, and getting some of it at that age, but being involved in theater and watching and going to theater. And nowadays where theater is all on YouTube and you could slime tutorial your life away, and no matter where you live, you've seen these shows or you've watched them on Good Morning America or whatever, they're doing it enough in a mainstream way that there's something for everyone to get. Do you, when tourists come and they've maybe not seen every single Broadway show, do you still get that reaction? You're funny is funny.
Yeah.
Funny is funny, right? And people just look, it's time to laugh, guys. We've done enough. It's been like 5 years of crying.
Right. So we need to laugh.
And in this climate and all the things, it's just there's one little political thing, but it's very light.
Yes.
But other than that, it's an escape. It's so just fun and funny and.
Yes, it's super entertaining, and it's also a great way for people that maybe don't have the greatest breadth of musical theater knowledge to hear, because we turn things on its head. It's a golden age song for a modern musical, and it just gives you an opportunity. You're like, oh, I don't know that. What is that? And maybe it sends you and it teaches people something else about the history of this art form, which is important.
Yeah, with all of those shows that you just said, you wouldn't expect, but you'll hear Music Man, you'll hear Chorus Line, you'll hear.
There's ones I don't even. It's incredible. There's a lot of stuff that we pull from old trunks to put on new shows, and that's one of my favorite things that Gerard does. And like The Outsiders, we pull a huge fast one.
That's a secret, but it's very fun.
I'm here for it because parody is important in society, and parody is important important to play in a fun way to point at some of the problems or jokes or issues, like the amount of theater costs and the way that they're doing like you all go in, and I've read the reviews, and congratulations on some of them, like when Theater Mania says it's glorious and all this fun stuff that is out there. So the word on the street is you all are doing a good time, and you're pointing a spotlight and a finger at some of the issues that real theater goers around this country are talking about.
Yeah.
And you could get a ticket for way less than $100.
Yeah.
Go see the show and not have to mortgage your house.
Yeah.
And yes.
And that's the point. And get the best. Basically, you're getting, 11 o'clock numbers in a row.
Yes.
So you're just, it's like.
We're really, I mean, seriously, if you're like, I don't know what show to see, come see ours, and you'll know which ones you want to see by the end.
If you're looking for bang for your buck.
Seriously, we're giving it all to you. And you're going to see 4 actors truly working so unbelievably hard. It's really amazing. If you put a camera backstage during the show,
I don't think anyone's done
exciting.
that. Somebody needs to do that. Not that there's a ton of room, but we do have more room here at Theater 555 than
Especially
other places.
Triad, yeah.
But if somebody brought a camera backstage, it's wild.
It's wild.
Well, I'm obsessed. It's opening night. It's happened. It's out till January 5th. Now, who knows? Maybe you'll be here longer. Maybe you'll be here forever.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we will be here forever.
ForbiddenBroadway.nyc is where you can get your tickets. The reviews are up there. There's pictures up there. There's video up there. There's history up there. And there's, of course, you can get your tickets right up there and read about this incredible cast and this creative team that's been doing this for forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Endeavor. That's a spoiler alert, too.
Yeah, we did classical music.
Oh, just like a casual hallelujah chorus.
Just a little Holly chorus, some Tchaikovsky. We're really ready.
Yeah,
we're covering every base possible.
I'm obsessed.
He's stunned.
I don't know how it all fits, but I'm excited for you all to find out. So Theater Nistas out there, get a ticket, come on down and come see Forbidden Broadway. Jenny Lee Stern, Chris Collins-Pisano, like a good paisan himself.
That's right, come on.
Boy.
That's right, a little Pisano.
Are you from the New York area, or are you like an?
No, I'm from Boston, but my mom is a 100% Jersey Italian.
Okay.
From Asbury Park, so she's the real deal.
And I'm from like the Philadelphia area, Bucks County, near New Hope.
So I'm a North Jersey, but my last name is Bannon, but my mom is Rose Antonia DiMeglio.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Ends in a vowel.
That's what. Yeah.
And everyone's middle name is Anthony or Antonia, all for St. Anthony.
Yes.
That's
what. Anthony.
Because we're trying to find ourselves.
Exactly.
So I get you all. I get you. So thank you all so much for being here. We're really excited to hear NYC. I'll see you all out there. And I promise you, it's a good night, everybody.
Definitely stay and say hi when you come.
Yeah, please let us know.
I'm ready. I want to like be a guest star and dress like Roger Bart or I don't have the
breather.
I don't have the body to do cabaret Eddie Redmayne. Like I'm not ready to be like in gloves.
Well, we do have a discarded elephant costume from something that was cut. So
that's good.
Pop in for that.
I can do acrobatic circus tricks. I'm in. I'm ready. Hey, Jenny and Chris, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.